right, let's kick off today's Chicago Bears mailbag with Alex Weddle. Notice the Bears went Rome at 9 after signing Keenan. I'm guessing they go Campbell at 10 this year or a guard in the second and grab Genty or Hampton in the first. I would prefer a guy – I would prefer someone who can play tackle if you're going to take an offensive line early, because that left tackle spot is somewhat up in the air. I mean, I think it's Braxton Jones' job to lose this year, but beyond this year, is he the long-term starter? Is he not? He's coming off a major leg injury, so we'll see. Yeah, I mean, obviously Genty or Hampton in the first round is very much in play. Will Campbell or Armand Mimbu, they could be in play. So we'll see what happens. But if they take an O-lineman, especially in that first-round range, ideally it's someone who could play left tackle. John Orticelli, how much playing time is Austin Booker going to get this year with the signing of Dayo and most likely drafting another defensive end? He's going to have to compete, right? I think right now he's probably your third edge rusher after Montez Sweat and Dayo Odeyingbo. He'd probably be that third guy. He was training with those guys in Miami, so that's a good sign. He needs to add some weight, especially to the lower body, so hopefully he's able to do that. But yeah, I mean, I would expect they draft someone as well. Obviously, Odeyingbo is going to kick inside some, so that'll factor into just edge snaps available. But I think right now he's in line to be that third or fourth edge rusher, and he'll probably be competing with the draft pick to be that top kind of rotation guy after your two main starters. So he's going to have to earn his playing time, and look, a full offseason after being in the NFL for a year should do him a lot of good. Name a player that you do not want the Bears to draft. Like, who's someone that you're like, I am pounding the table for the Bears not to take this guy? I want to hear it from you guys right now in the comments section. Okay, DC Viper, watching clips of Caleb Johnson and Judkins, I would say I would feel comfortable either in the second. Completely agree. If Genty and Hampton are gone as their running back in day 2, you would like. Well, both of those guys. Day 2, there's a lot of backs. Now, in terms of second round, after those two at 39 and 41, I think Henderson for a lot of teams is worth it. I don't love the fit here because you already have a guy with that type of skill set in DeAndre Swift. I want a different skill set to mesh with DeAndre. I don't think Henderson offers enough different style of play. Cam Skattebo, I think 39-41 is a little early for him. I love Devin Neal, but I think he's more of a third-round guy. Damian Martinez, same deal. R.J. Harvey, same deal. DJ Giddens, same deal. There's a lot of guys I like in the third after those two guys, Johnson and Judkins. Bashal Tootin as well, or Bashal Tootin from Virginia Tech. There's a lot of guys. Like, to me, the tiers are Ashton Genty 1, Amarian Hampton 2. They're both first-round guys. Caleb Johnson, Quinshon Judkins. I'd throw Henderson in there, just not for the Bears, as early day 2 guys. And then a lot of, like, third-round talents of Cam Skattebo, Devin Neal, R.J. Harvey, Damian Martinez. If you want to throw Ollie Gordon in there, I think there's a lot of guys in that range. DJ Giddens, but I think there is a tier drop-off after the big 4. John Elia, if Simmons makes it to day 2, should we trade up to 33? Could be a major steal. Yeah, I mean, I think would be in a group of players. Like, if he slipped out of the first round, I think teams would be calling the Browns, I think, are picking at 33 and expressing interest. A report dropped that he has attitude concerns. Who knows if that's true or not? You hear a lot of smoke this time of year. He's certainly a talented player. He was in line to be a top 10 pick before the knee injury. So anytime you get a talent like that dips to the second round, I mean, you got to be at least poking around and being interested for sure. Subscribe to the channel. Bears Now is a family of almost 120,000 people. Kind of crazy. You guys are unbelievable. So it's been a fun journey, and hopefully this journey turns into some winning starting this year. So subscribe for free. Join the channel. We would appreciate it. Sal Giovinco, I'd be open to trading back to the early mid-20s, assuming there is a partner to trade with. I would grab Zabel and another offensive lineman, 39 or 41, then a defensive end or running back with the other pick. Thoughts? Where's Zabel playing? I like Zabel, but he's not playing for you this year unless there's an injury. Drew Dahlman's your starting center for at least 2 years. Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson at minimum are your starting guards this year. I don't think he can play tackle in the NFL, so I'm not against it. Like, I like the player, but to me, if you draft him, you have to have a plan for him to start at minimum by 2026. Or are you basically saying Tooney's just a one-year player? I don't love that because I'd love to keep him here for at least a couple of years. So that would just be my question. Where's he playing? I don't know if you have to go 2 offensive linemen early. Certainly not against it. Can't ever have enough good trenches players. And then defensive end, running back, no problems there. But that would be my question back is what's your plan for Gray Zabel? Where is he playing and when is he playing? Soldier Bear 85, what kind of leap do you expect from key players like Caleb? I expect a leap. Do I expect by the end of the year he's a top 8 quarterback in the league? No, but we should feel, without ranking him at, among his peers, right? Like he'll be the 13th best quarterback, whatever. I expect by the end of year 2, or my goal for him is like, you don't have a question that he's going to be your franchise guy. That's still up in the air, which for most rookies, it's going to take into their second year to feel good about that. Not many guys have seasons like Jaden Daniels did last year or C.J. Stroud 2 years ago, and even in Stroud's case last year, he kind of regressed. So I think we saw enough positives from Caleb his rookie year that if he fine-tunes some things, I think a lot of it starts with just a better offensive mind and offensive line. But then also for him, I think the footwork is big. I think the footwork led to some overthrows, some inconsistency on the downfield throwing that we know he's capable of doing. We saw it throughout his college career. So I expect a big jump in terms of what exactly that looks like. It's hard to measure that numerically, but I expect him to take a big jump. And for other guys, I just expect guys to bounce back. Like I expect DJ to be much better this year in a better offense. I expect Rome to take a big jump. I think out of every player on the offense who I expect to take a big jump, obviously we want Caleb. I think Rome could take a huge jump. It would not shock me if he had a 1,200-yard season. I think he's going to have a major, major year. Get started with our friends over at Rocket Money. Are you looking to build up your savings, scale back on your spending? Rocket Money is a personal finance app that can help you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitor your spending, and help lower your bills so that you can grow your savings. Let's talk about that a little bit. They will even try to negotiate to lower your bills for you, sometimes by up to 20%. All you got to do is submit a picture of your bill, and Rocket Money takes care of the rest. They'll deal with customer service for you. So if you feel like your phone bill's too high, take a picture of it, upload it to the app, and they might find a better deal for you. You might have to change providers, but it'll help you save money in the long run. Just typical banking things that I think are more user-friendly on the Rocket Money app than my regular banking app. Chances are yours as well. It'll notify you when upcoming bills are set to come out of your auto payment. You can check your credit score in real time. You can manage and set budgets and have Rocket Money send you reminders throughout the week and throughout the month. I just love using it. I'm a dad. I pay a mortgage, a lot of bills, so it helps me stay on track. And for you guys, it can do the same. Get started at rocketmoney.com/bears now. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions today at rocketmoney.com/bears now. They have saved customers $500 million in canceled subscriptions alone and members up to $740 per year. One more time, it's rocketmoney.com/bears now. Ah, yes, our good friend Lacora Victor. Is Wyatt Milam a sleeper in this draft? Could see a trade down for him if he didn't go O-line in round 1. I think he's like round 3, round 4. I think he's right there in that range. I don't think he's a tackle in the NFL, but maybe he's like a really good backup that can play all 5 positions, right? He played tackle at West Virginia. His arm length is sub 33 inches, but I think he could give you some snaps there. Probably not as a full-time starter. He got some center reps at the Senior Bowl. I talked to him for a few minutes at the Big 12 Pro Day the other day. He said he felt comfortable doing that. He said he's been working on snapping for over a year now. So I think that's good forward thinking by him. Like, hey, teams might view me as a center in the NFL. I think he's got all the tools to play guard. So, can he be like a really good backup that develops into a starter at a position? I think that's on the table. So, third, fourth round, especially if you trade back at some point and acquire an extra middle round pick, that would be the range I would like to take him. Jacob Stark, betting odds have Bears at 8.5 wins, over or under. I got to see the schedule. I think in a vacuum, the Bears have the talent to be a 9+ win team. I think the schedule has a chance to be pretty difficult. You're playing the NFC East, you're playing the AFC North. Even as a last-place NFC schedule, you're still getting the 49ers, who project as a bounce-back team. You're playing Carolina, who by the end of last season looked formidable. Even the Saints, aren't completely incompetent. So I don't think it's going to be a cupcake schedule. Now, the schedule sometimes we overvalue because we're like, oh, my God, we got X, Y, and Z. Like last year, the Bears going into the season had the second easiest schedule based on opponent win percentage, ended up being the second hardest. So you just never know. Like, for example, this year, I think the division will be a little easier. So, 8.5 sounds right for an over-under out of Vegas. I want to say over. I hope it's over. Let's see how the schedule plays out. Who is your favorite Bears player of all time? So Walter Payton. I loved Devin Hester as a kid. I can't really claim Walter Payton. I wasn't alive when he was playing, so certainly have gone back and watched his highlights. I think you could make a strong argument he's the best player in Bears history, but my personal favorite is Devin Hester because I grew up watching him. Greatest returner in the history of the sport. So let us know who your favorite player is. Erica Longovan. If Carter falls to 5, are you trading 39 and a first next year to get him? So are you keeping 10 here? Is that what you're trying to do? Because I'm not trading 10, 39, and a 1 next year for Abdul Carter. Love the player. That's too much. If you're just doing a first next year in 39, I'd think about it. I don't know if the Bears would do that. I don't know if the team receiving him would do that without getting a first this year. Like, would Jacksonville just accept trading out of the first round entirely this year? I don't know. So, hell of a player. I don't think he gets to 5 in the first place, but I would need to know if you're including 10 there. Like 10, 39, and a 1 next year, that's a little rich. Mike Nintendo Master, what's the highest pick to trade a wide receiver? Well, if you're watching live, I got a mock draft coming up, and might be taking a receiver higher than you think, which I haven't done much in my mocks, so stay tuned for that. I would say second round is probably the highest you would do it. I don't think there's a scenario the Bears would take one at 10 or even in a trade down in round 1, but I think second or third round is possible. If there's a guy they love and a player that they think is a great long-term fit in this Ben Johnson offense, I mean, let's face it. Like, you got your big 2, Rome and DJ, but there's question marks after that. Zacchaeus coming off a career year, but he's historically been more of a 4 than a 3. So if there's someone you like that you think is worthy of taking, then I think that's certainly on the table. I just don't want to do it in the first round. Okay, if you have more questions and we didn't get them answered, you know where to find me. Social media, at HGramNFL on Instagram, same handle on Twitter, at HGramNFL. DMs are wide open. I'm going to be catching up on some DMs this weekend, so fire away if you have any Bears questions.